Hey there, welcome to another episode of Legends with Elroy. Well, today I'm excited to tell you another story about Billy Bob the Knight. So this story starts in his bathtub. Splish splash, I was taking a bath, all about a Saturday night. A rubber-dubber just for... What's that? So Billy Bob went to the door, and he opened it, and there stood Steve, the squirrel. And Billy Bob said, "Steve, what are you doing here? You know this is the time of the day that I take my bath. And I mean, everybody else comes to my house at this time and asks for help, but I just wish someone would give me a break someday." And Steve said, "Billy Bob, I bring sad tidings. The kingdom of the squirrels is about to fall." And Billy Bob said, "Oh no, what is it?" And Steve said, "Oh, it is horrible." Billy Bob said, "Well, are the chipmunks going to war with you?" And Steve said, "No, even worse." Billy Bob said, "Well, are the ants? Are they mad because you guys have been tickling them again?" And Steve said, "No, even worse than that." And Billy Bob said, "Did Stanley the skunk spray you guys again? That smells bad." And Steve said, "No. Although, even though what happened is worse, it's hard to think it's that much worse than that, because that's pretty bad." But Billy Bob said, "Well, then what is it that happened?" And Steve said, "Well, my great-great-grandfather, Stephen, found these two great relics that he passed down to us from generation to generation of squirrel. And you see, one is the acorn of awesomeness, and the other is the walnut of wisdom. And you see, these two relics, it is said that whoever possesses them gains special attributes from them. To have the acorn of awesomeness, everybody will see you as awesome all the time." Jack London must have one of those, because he's pretty awesome. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because Jack London's awesome and he sponsored this video. But anyways, he said, so the acorn of awesomeness, but the other is the walnut of wisdom. And the walnut of wisdom helps guide you through difficult decisions in life. Like, should I comb my hair to this side or to this side? I'm just not gonna comb it. Squirrels a lot of the times don't comb their hair. I mean, they'll run their paws up there and stuff, but they don't really comb it one way or the other. So they usually just let the, wild and crazy approach go. But anyways, and Billy Bob said, "Well, those sound pretty cool, but what's the issue?" And Steve said, "Well, I took them to the dwarves because they're renowned for being able to take metal and make beautiful jewelry and trinkets and different things of that sort. And you see, I wanted to pass these on to my children, but in a grand way that showed just how wonderful they were. And so I decided I would take them to the dwarves, and the dwarves could put the acorn, they could put silver all the way around it, and that they could put gold all the way around the walnut." And it seemed like such a good idea. And so I took it, and Frankie and Georgie took the acorn and the walnut. And then they said, "Come back in 7 days and it will be done." But when I came back, they opened the door to the vault and it wasn't there. Neither of them. They're both gone. Now, Frankie and Georgie tell me that they didn't take them, but I wonder. But I know that you know Frankie and Georgie, and I thought maybe you could come and see if you think they took them or not. And Billy Bob said, "Wow, that is quite a story. I hope I hope they didn't take them, because they're pretty cool guys. No, I don't think they did. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll get my armor and we can go. So, Billy Bob and Steve made the journey, which took a couple days. And when they arrived, Billy Bob said, "Hey, Frankie and Georgie." And Frankie and Georgie said, "Hey, Billy Bob." Billy Bob said, "How you guys doing?" They said, "We're doing great. Thank you so much for helping us with that laughing thing. I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. And I needed a break." Billy Bob said, "No problem, that's what I do. But what's all this about disappearing acorns and walnuts and gold and silver?" And they said, "Billy Bob, we don't know. You see, this is how it happened. Steve here brought us the acorn and the walnut. And we did just as he asked with the silver and with the gold. Silver and gold. But then, one day, the day before he was supposed to come to us, we went to check. Because we had just finished doing the silver and gold, and they were set, and they had fully hardened around the acorn and the walnut. And so we went to get them out of the vault and make sure that everything looked good. But when we got in there, they were gone. But not only were they gone, there stood a sculpture in each place, 2 sculptures. And you know what the sculpture was of? It was of you. And Billy Bob said it was of me. Why, that's crazy. Is someone trying to frame me? Now surely you don't think I did it. He said, "No, we don't. But someone must really want to get at you." Billy Bob said, "That's crazy. I wonder." And then they heard a squawking all about them. And then they looked up and there was this woodpecker. And it was going, "Quack, quack, quack." It didn't sound exactly like that. You see, I try to make bird noises, but I'm not very good at it. Now, I took a bird noise class once, and it was pretty interesting because you have to put bird feathers on and you run around and you make noises, but unfortunately, it didn't help too much with my bird noises. But I digress. So the bird flew up, and it was a woodpecker. Now, woodpeckers are those birds that they're not too big. They're about this big, and they have those really sharp beaks. And what they do is they'll hammer their head into a tree, and scoop out a little hole where there's like a worm or a beetle, and then you'll grab the beetle and eat it. I don't know how beetles taste good to them, but they do, and that's what they eat. But anyways, and the woodpecker said, "Billy Bob, I have wanted to meet you for a long time." And Billy Bob said, "Well, who are you and what are you doing?" And the woodpecker said, "My name's Walter. And you see, I devised this plan that I would take the walnut and the acorn and replace them with sculptures of you, because I wanted you to have the sculptures, because I think you're really a cool guy." But Billy Bob said, "Well, I appreciate that you think I'm a cool guy, but you shouldn't have stolen what's not yours just to get me here. Why didn't you just come see me?" And Walter said, "That's actually it's a pretty good point. I didn't think of that one, but maybe I should have done that." And Billy Bob said, "Well, where is the acorn and the walnut?" Walter said, "Well, they're actually inside the statues. There's a little secret door on each one, right where the tummy is. If you do a little boop right to the belly button, it will open up and out will roll the thing. I didn't really take them. I didn't want to steal anything, but I just really wanted to meet you, Billy Bob. I realized now it wasn't the right thing to do, and I was wrong, so I'm really sorry to you." Billy Bob said, "Well, don't say you're sorry to me. You should say you're sorry to these guys, Frankie and Georgie and Steve." And so, Walter, the woodpecker, apologized. And they did a little boop right to the belly button, and out popped an acorn, and out popped a walnut of wisdom and the acorn of awesomeness. Billy Bob really did understand how cool it made Steve, because he grabbed it and he stuck it up in the air and he was like, ah! And like there was like light shooting off all over. It was really cool. But after that, they all became good friends. You see, Frankie and Georgie are just cool guys, and Steve's pretty awesome too. And Walter ended up being a really good bird. And Billy Bob said that Walter should come visit him sometimes. And Walter said that he sure would. And so, with the mission accomplished and the case solved, Billy Bob and Steve set off. And when they got to the forest, Steve went his separate way with his golden acorn and, silver acorn and golden walnut. And Billy Bob went his way with his 2 statues where you could go boop to the belly button and they open up. The legend is that at Billy Bob's house, if you do the little belly button thing, there's chocolate inside the statues. I should go hang out there. Boop, chocolate. Anyways, so it was a long adventure, but finally Billy Bob was home. Oh, again, that, my friends, is the end of this one. But that story is for another day. Well, I'll see you guys in the next episode of Legends with Elroy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya.